We are back. I'm Dawn Stensland-Menti, and this is A New Dawn. We're talking about sex here. Get the kids out of the room. We're talking about 50 Shades of Grey, but this is a better way toward intimacy and ecstasy. My next guest is a single mom of 2 and a fitness trainer who's been having great sex before the 50 Shades book was ever written. Emma Swain, it's so good to have you here. How are you?
Thanks for having me. Fabulous.
So we're joining the conversation now with sexologist Dr. Jill. And so talk to me about, you know, because you're this normal mom and people go to your exercise class.
Mostly normal. Mostly normal. Well, I had a long-term relationship with someone that was very S&M oriented, not as a lifestyle, but just as in the bedroom only. And the most important thing, it was a very long-term relationship. And after a while, we got different props. It was great. I loved it, but it declined after so many years. And I think the most important thing is when you're having a sexual relationship and you want to keep it alive is variety. And sometimes even when you get into tying someone up or using props and everything, that becomes vanilla in itself. It circles around you. So after a while, it's like, oh, do I have to put on that strap on again? Oh my God, it's so much work, you know? So, and frankly, I love that book. The best part about 50 Shades of Grey is that women are usually having very vanilla sex with their husbands. A lot of women are in their late 30s, early 40s, mid 40s, and they're in their sexual prime, and their husbands just come home, have a martini, and pass out. And I think it gave women freedom to explore different things, and like, hey, let's introduce these handcuffs. You don't have to do them all the time. It doesn't have to become a cyclical thing where you're like, here's the handcuffs, next we're using the whip. I mean, I don't think their husbands would probably go for golden showers or anything like that. But I think, you know, for me, that book was almost vanilla. They didn't have anything really crazy in it. But for just a little bit of kink, I think it's wonderful for the average woman who's been married for 20 years with the kids. And it's a way of relinquishing power and control. And women in this age have to have a lot of that. We do the checkbooks, we balance everything, we do everything with the kids in the schools, and we're exhausted. We want someone just to tell us what to do sometimes, in a consensual way, of course.
And that's the thing that Dr. Jill has a shop, Feminique Boutique in Westchester, and that's you have actually a sign up on the wall.
I do.
And what is that sign? This is so important.
There's a few. It says everyone has the right to enjoy their sexuality without fear of violence. Because I think often what ends up happening is that women who want sex and they just say, I want to have sex, I want to have good sex, or maybe I want to have sex with a lot of people. That gets translated into some not so nice terms that are called to those women, and that gets translated into sexual violence. So there's kind of this continuum, and so that's what makes me nervous is that, you know, that relinquishing of power, but on whose terms is that power relinquished? And, you know, you said that, how long did it take for you to turn, you know, have that long-term relationship turn into using strap-ons, for example?
Oh, probably 3 months.
Okay, so a bit of time. Yeah.
It went from really heavy and really lots of energy and lots of different props to, oh God, really? I have to get the bag out again. You know, I just think variety is the most important thing, you know? And it takes a lot of work. You put the leather mask on, you have to have special lube, you know?
Yeah.
And then after that, I was in a relationship. And I asked him, can you just dominate me for once, please? Please. And I laughed so hard because he was so bad at it. And clearly that is what he was into. And I was just trying to please him and I wasn't thinking about myself. And I think that's really important to know what you want and know your limits sexually and what you'll do for a partner. And when you're like, hey, you know what? Pay attention to me. This is what I want. And he was so bad at it. I had to laugh.
But are you intimidating? I think, are you a little intimidating to the partner? Or
with that one, I was. I hope if I was doing it correctly.
Okay,
Yes,
all right.
Because he wanted her to be the dominant one.
Okay, so
yeah,
all right.
And I was.
That's the role, right?
I used to make him wear a dress and go give me beer on his hands and knees. We had roommates.
I love it.
He loved it too.
Sounds like it.
I just got a beer.
But you didn't love it so much.
Not after a while.
Because you had, no matter
It's
what,
exhausting.
I mean, everything's relative, but
Right.
no matter what you're really saying is it has to be healthy,
Yeah.
and you have to be communicating in
Right.
a healthy way. You know, I wanted to talk about, Dr. Jill, the fact that you actually teach college-age women how to achieve orgasm. Why is that important to actually teach that?
It's actually my favorite subject to teach. It's my favorite one to talk about. And I think that when we think about the word sex, and we've been saying the word sex several times this evening, and what we think about when we think of sex is often intercourse, penile-vaginal intercourse. And that's really, really good for men and the way that men's bodies are designed to orgasm. And while pleasurable for women, it's not how most women orgasm, just the way that female plumbing works, if you will. And so when women can't orgasm from that traditional mode of sex, they feel like there's something wrong with them. And so I literally teach women how to do it right.
You're doing a great service to
women. Thank you. Thank you. That's very sweet of you to say.
And you actually, but I mean, this is something you feel is a woman's right, and that every woman really should be fulfilled in this way. Because there are some, women who go a lifetime or go decades in a committed relationship, and you feel that that's sad, right?
I think of it almost like a social justice issue. Like the fact that men's sexuality is celebrated and women's isn't. I think that's inherently unfair and a start of a lot of the women's rights issues. Yes.
And we want justice.
We want to orgasm.
Right. My mom grew up reading Our Bodies Ourselves, and I knew all about masturbation. I used to masturbate in the coat closet when I was in kindergarten. And so I always knew how it was to please myself. So then if you're educated from an early age, not like my mom told me to go into the coat closet when I was in kindergarten, but I just did it anyway. It was a natural thing to happen, and my mom was like, I don't know if she knew. I certainly didn't know.
Well,
I shouldn't do it in public.
Does.
But wait, you're a mom. You have a daughter. Is that scary to you?
It's not. No, it's not an issue yet. If she starts doing that, then I'll just teach her it's normal and natural. You just don't do it in public, and
just don't do it in the coat closet. But it's
don't.
Okay.
In the coat closet was private. There was a door in the coat closet, Jill.
So you're all about the communication and being healthy.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And all of that.
Definitely. Right. You have to be, or else you're going to grow up frigid. They can't even use that word anymore. That's an oppressive. Mick Jagger sings, remember, what's that song, She's So Cold? It's horrible. It's about him trying to sleep with a woman, and he calls her frigid, unless she sleeps with him.
That Mick Jagger.
That Mick Jagger.
All right, we're going to continue A New Dawn, talking about justice and getting into some specifics when A New Dawn continues.